Okay, y'all, I'm just making sure I'm locked in. Looking good. I'm looking good. Okay. Make sure it's everywhere it's supposed to be. I see people do this and I wonder like, dang, why they gotta do that? But you gotta make sure it's where it's supposed to be at. And I'm looking good. Okay, I'm looking good. Where everything where it's supposed to be at. Shout out to the makers of this software. Because that is a headache when it's not streaming everywhere it's supposed to be. All right. I don't gotta do much on this page, but reload it. Let's go. Hopefully everything's saved. Okay, Canva acting a little crazy. Let me try to load it back up. Let's get to the Canva. Ooh, I may have lost the whole thing. Ooh, wee. Oh my God. Oh, I may have lost the whole thing, y'all. So much for technology. Ah, all right, y'all. Let me lock it. Look, I had the whole presentation uploaded, ready to go. But that's not going to stop me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and pull up the 30 things. This is not going to stop me. This is how we do it. Let me show y'all how we do it. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. What's up? Bam. We're not going to let that stop us, y'all. So let's talk about it. Now, Napoleon Hill is a self-help writer from the 19th century, and his book, Think and Grow Rich, is still one of the biggest selling self-help books ever. Like, it's still in the top 10 list. Usually I share my screen with this, but if you was on when I first came on, you could see that Canva just literally obliterated. It just literally obliterated. It obliterated my presentation. And I don't know why Canva hating on me like this. That is crazy. Yeah, whatever. I don't know why Canva hating on me like this, but we're not gonna let them get us down like that. This was crazy. I never had this happen ever in life. That is crazy. And it's still down. Canva is still down. It's a server error on Canva. And it says something is wrong on their end. Like right when I went live, Canva went crazy on me. Well, that's so much for technology. So I'm going to do this presentation without the actual presentation in Canva. Um, I should have downloaded it. If I'd have downloaded it, I could have rocked and rolled. But usually, I've never had a problem with Canva. So I don't know how everybody's week going, man. We never gonna let something like that hold us up. As long as I get internet connection, I am going to be here at 7 o'clock, and I'm going to present exactly what I wanted to present without the theatrics, without the Canva presentation. I'm gonna still give it to you. So basically, I am using Napoleon Hill's 30 Causes of Failure from his book, Think and Grow Rich. I'm using that to outline my presentation today. I know the presentation is usually kind of cute with the Canva thing, but we are not like, listen, y'all. Canva, they usually on point. Um, Sometimes things happen. I can't sue them. Let's go. So number one in the 30 causes of failure is unfavorable hereditary background. And what this means is that you are born into a family, or you're born into bad circumstances. If the people in your background do not have anything favorable to pass you down, then you will inherit nothing. So that is the first cause of failure. That's number one. And a lot of us, when I say us, I mean not just African Americans, but people who did not come into some type of inheritance in the beginning of their life. If they did not have anything set up for them, if they did not have some kind of funding set up, some kind of college funding, some kind of background as far as finances go, we are starting at a disfavorable point in our life. And that's the first reason for failure, is not having any type of ground to land on in the beginning, which makes a lot of sense. So when you get to number two, a lack of a well-defined purpose. Now, this can be caused from number one, but this can also be caused from you going through your life, just going through your life. If you don't have any type of set goal, if you don't have anything that you set out to achieve, you have not found your purpose. You have not defined what you are living for, and that's the second cause of failure. The third cause of failure is a lack of ambition to aim above mediocrity. And what this means is that you will settle for anything. You have people that never mind just doing enough. If you are used to just doing enough, if you have never aspired to do better than what you're doing, or to have better than what you have, then you're definitely going to fail, because you're not setting out to do anything. Number four is insufficient education. And what an insufficient education means is that you do not, it's not a necessary that you go to college. It's not a necessary that you have a trade. It's not necessary that you do anything like that. But if it's certain things that you're supposed to go to school for. If you want to be a lawyer, you should go to school. Now, there's ways around that. You can practice law and do certain things or whatever, but nothing beats a education, a formal education in some aspects, in some things. So insufficient education, and once again, this can mean a formal education, and this can also mean education in whatever you're doing. If you're a barber, you can learn things on the fly, but actually learning some type of technique. Now you have things that you can sign up for, certain things online. You can do a lot of things on YouTube or whatever, but you need some form of education if you plan on being successful at something. Number five is a lack of self-discipline. Self-discipline is the key to anything. If you want a six-pack, you need self-discipline. Not only do you need to get in the gym every day, or 4 days a week, 5 days a week, you will also need to get away from the table. You will also need to push the cake away. It's different things that you'll have to do to get different goals. And if you do not have the self-discipline to do these things, it doesn't matter if you know that these things need to be done. If you're not disciplined enough to actually do them, it's a waste of time. So that is the fifth cause of failure. The sixth cause of failure is ill health. And ill health can be caused by lack of discipline. If you're overeating junk foods, you don't exercise, you got poor daily habits, or you overindulge in sex, you could be subject to ill health. Ill health can mean mental health, physical health, emotional health, any type of health. So that is the sixth cause of failure. The seventh cause of failure is unfavorable environmental influences during your childhood. Now, this means that your role models didn't give you anything to really model. If all you knew were drug dealers, or all you knew were prostitutes, things like that, then it's hard for you to overcome the thought of this is what it takes to survive. If all you know is pimps, you think, well, I got a pimp to drive that nice car. If all you know is selling your body, then that's what you're going to do. If all you know is selling drugs, then it's hard to overcome that. It's not impossible, but it's hard. So that's an unfavorable environmental influences during your childhood. Number 8 is procrastination. Procrastination is the devil. A lot of people wait until the time is perfect. There's no such thing as the perfect time. So while you're waiting for the perfect time, life is passing you by, and you'll be waiting forever. If you have no sense of urgency, you'll probably never get anything done. Procrastination will kill your dreams, it'll kill your goals, and it'll have you always waiting until tomorrow. That's number 8. Number 9 is the lack of persistence. Sometimes things take more than one time. If you are not persistent, you could be right at your goal and turn around because you feel like Well, this wasn't supposed to happen. Well, this wasn't meant to be. So when you look up, you've cut the tree down, cut the tree down, cut the tree down, but the tree still hasn't fallen, and you give up right when the last strike was going to cut that tree down. Like the tree was right at its ending, and you gave up. Persistence will get you through a lot of things. A lack of knowledge can be overcame with persistence. A lack of understanding can be overcame with persistence. A lack of network could be overcame by persistence, because some people will take a look at you and say, man, this guy, I've watched this guy go up against the wind, and they will give you a shot. And people like persistent people. If you give up, that means you're going to try something different every other year, sometimes every other month, and that does not equal success. So number 10 is a lack of personality. If you ever ran across these people that are always negative, or they never have anything positive to say, or they just don't have an attractive personality, like people just don't want to be around them, then those are negative personalities. Like you have people that may have just a negative demeanor about life, or just a bad attitude, and that pushes people away. So how do you look for some form of success if you're constantly pushing people away? And the most successful people don't want anything to do with somebody that's so negative. Like they'll literally run away from you. So you have to attract positivity by being positive. Number 11 is a lack of controlled sexual urge. This does not mean you have a lot of sex with your wife. Like that's okay, maybe. It may be time consuming. You may be spending a lot of time in the bed, or in the bathroom, wherever you want to be at, in the living room, in the kitchen. You may be spending a lot of time anywhere but handling your business. So that could be bad. But this particular thing is concerned with you chasing tail instead of chasing your goals. And you hear successful people always say that you're supposed to be chasing money, not chasing this, or you. So a lot of times you have this option. You can go get something productive done, or you can go chase tail, and it can go either ways. It's not just for males or just for females. It's go either way. You can go get something done, and instead of that, you're somewhere shacking up, somewhere laying up, somewhere doing something you ain't got no business doing at this time. So this could kill your business. And not to mention, if you see everything that's going on now with all of the sexual misconduct going on from everywhere, from White House on down, then you can see why lack of control sexual urge could be a cause of failure. Number 12, uncontrolled desire for something or nothing. You have people that say, if I can't get what I don't want anything. That is setting yourself up for failure, because it may not be exactly what you want, but it could be exactly what you need. So I'm sorry, this uncontrolled desire for something for nothing. So you have people that want to get something from you and don't want to give nothing to you. I apologize. So in this particular one, what this is saying is that you do not want to have an attitude of, can you help me? Every time you pick up your phone and you ask for advice, or you ask somebody for some kind of help, you should explain to that person how it could help them. A person should be able to see the benefit in dealing with you. It should not always be, can you help me? Number 13, a lack of a well-defined power of decision. And what Napoleon is talking about here is, you need to be able to make decisions. If you are a person that overthinks things, then you are never going to make decisions the way that you should in order to be successful. If you have to think on things for 2, 3, 4 weeks, some of these things will pass in those 2, 3, 4 weeks. You need to have a great idea of where you're going, and you will be able to see if these decisions actually fit what you're trying to do. So if you can't understand why something is fitting exactly what you're trying to do, then you're going to overthink it. So while you thinking about something, the chance for you to capitalize on it has already passed. You have to be able to make decisions quickly. Number 14 is that you suffer from one or more of the basic six fears. And the six basic fears include the fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health, the fear of a loss of love, the fear of old age, and the fear of death. If you care about any of these things too much, if you are constantly worrying about dying, constantly worrying about losing a love, or constantly worrying about poverty, or some type of criticism, you cannot succeed in life. You cannot succeed in life. If you're worried about criticism, you're never going to make the right decision. You're worried about what somebody else thinks. You have to be content and comfortable with the fact that you are not going to be here forever. In fact, it should drive you. It should not hold you back. It should drive you, because if you understand how limited your time is here on this earth, then you will make better use of it. Number 15 is the wrong selection of a mate in marriage. Me and one of my partners actually had this conversation, and we were talking about how successful people usually have a wife that's contributing to their success. They usually have somebody that's they're rooting them on in the physical and in the mental and physical, in the mental and emotional part of their life. So the wrong selection of a mate could really be the end of your life. Like, success could be very fleeting if you have the wrong selection of a mate in your marriage. Because let's say you're an entrepreneur, if your mate is constantly hounding you to be near them, spend time with them, why we don't go out, why we don't do this? As an entrepreneur, your time could be tied up in all kinds of things. Today I was just doing a whole bunch of letters for my clients, for my credit repair clients, and my Beyonce was somewhere handling her business. Now, if I had somebody that's, oh my God, why you always got to do this? Why you don't never have time for me? Why you did? Listen, your success is further away than you think if you are in a relationship with the wrong person. Number 16 is overcaution. In any type of business, you have to take risks. If you do not take risks, you will not succeed in any type of business. Now, these can be calculated risks. You do not need to be a fool about it, but you have to take some form of calculated risk. And if you don't, then you will not succeed. If you just do everything safe, you may make money, but you will not be great in anything without taking risks. Number 17 is the wrong selection of associates in business. Who you chose to do business with can be very important to your success. If you are associating with the wrong business people, you are setting yourself up for failure, because you have people that won't do business with you based on who you're already doing business with. You have to understand who you're doing business with. Not to mention, the person that you're doing business with can drag you down. I watched something on Dateline or one of the other where a business partner killed this business partner for literally a couple $100,000. They made millions of dollars together. And a person that's envious of you, a person that's spiteful to you or whatever, that's a horrible business partner, and you will never succeed with that type of business partner. Number 18 is superstition and prejudice. If you're superstitious, you'll never think you deserve it. A superstitious person feel like everything is luck. They never feel like they have to earn anything. They feel like, I just need to get lucky. I just need to get lucky. If you are a person that's superstition and believe that you could just get lucky, then you'll never put in the grind that it takes to succeed. So that is a major cause of failure. 19, the wrong selection of a vocation. You have people, it's certain things that you can get better at. Let's say you're a singer. You don't have to be the greatest singer. You have a Britney Spears or somebody that's famous as hell and barely can sing. Barely can sing. You can find things that you're great at within that, but a lot of times it's not that easy. If you are not a good barber, it doesn't matter how passionate you are about being a barber. People are going to stop coming to you after you keep pushing a line to the middle of their head. So you have to find a vocation that you're actually good at, for the most part. Number 20 is a lack of concentration and effort. If you cannot concentrate and put your effort into one thing, you have people that's a photographer one day, then they're a engineer the next day, And then there are rocket scientists. Like, listen, if you cannot concentrate your effort on one thing and actually nail this one thing down, then it's going to be hard for you to be successful in anything. The jack of all trades is the master of none. Seriously, lock one thing down and become great at that one thing. The habit of indiscriminate spending. If you buy a bunch of stuff you don't really need, you will find it hard to be successful. You are spending money that you could spend on making yourself more successful, whether that be marketing, whether that be education, whether that be some type of hardware or software that you need, some kind of uh, program, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter if you're just spending money on anything, a bunch of stuff you don't need. If you're running out buying Jordans every week and you're an entrepreneur, unless you're at the point where you're actually making a lot of money and the Jordans are paying for themselves, then you are literally wasting your money. That's money you could spend on making yourself a bigger brand and making yourself more successful. The lack of enthusiasm. If you're a person who lacks enthusiasm, then you will find it very hard to be successful, because you have to have a passion to make other people passionate in whatever you're pushing, whatever you believe in. And that could be the people around you, as far as the people that work for you, or that could be the customers or the other businesses that you need to deal with. If you don't have enthusiasm, it's hard to make somebody else enthusiastic about whatever you're selling. Intolerance. If you are a asshole, it's no better way to say it. If you're an asshole, it's hard for people to do business with you. And if they do business with you once, they probably won't do business with you again. If you have an intolerance of others or other people ideas, it's going to cause your reputation to be kicked in the mud, and it's going to make people that would have worked with you otherwise not want to work with you. You can have the best product or service in the world. If you are an asshole, you will run business opportunities away. Intemperance. This is something else that will run people away. If you are angry all the time, or you're constantly yelling, now you can do that if you are a billionaire and you have a certain aesthetic about yourself, a certain thing that people can't live without, and you can have a little bit of that. But on your way to the top, you're going to need to have a better attitude. You're going to need to have a better attitude. You're going to need to be able to take some lumps and keep on lumping. You know what I mean? You got to take a lick and keep on ticking. So you cannot be super angry with everybody if things don't go your way. You cannot be a person that's lashing out, or a person that's mean to assistants, or a person that's mean to the male person. Successful people are probably nice to everybody. They even know how to say no nicely. Learn it. The inability to cooperate with others. This is much like the last two. If you cannot cooperate with others, any type of major success is teamwork. You need to deal with a team. And if you cannot work within a team and cooperate, you will find it very hard to be successful, if not impossible. Like, learn how to cooperate with others. I'm in 2 groups in school right now, and I'm telling y'all, like, the groups are great because they're all young. They're all young. I done went back to college. I'm in there with all 22, 23-year-olds. They're all young. They are open-minded. They're coming with a certain attitude. As people get older, their attitudes and their beliefs about things get stiff and harsh. It's hard to deal with you. That's why as you get older, it's harder to be successful. Like they say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. As you get older, it's harder to be successful because you have more things going on in your life. You may have a family that you have to tend to. You are bombarded with everything that life brings to you, all kind of bills and all kind of expectations, all kind of responsibilities. So you start to look at life a little different. You no longer believe in unicorns and Santa Claus. So you are, look, man, that don't make sense. That don't this. So now when people come in with ideas, you shoot them down as they come. Like, you have to be able to cooperate, and you have to get out your own ass. Possession of power not acquired through self-effort is number 26. And what this means is you have some kind of power that's given to you. You do not understand how to wield this power. You do not know how to be successful in using this power. So what you do with this power is you abuse it. You abused this power because it was given to you. You did not earn this power. If you were not earned a possession of this power, then you will definitely abuse it, and that will cause you to fail. People will plot against you. The world will not work in your favor, and you will fail. Number 27 is intentional dishonesty. Any type of fraud is wrong, man. You do not want to build a house of cards. You do not want to lie to people. You do not want to tell people you could do a certain thing, and then you end up not being able to do that and bumping your head because you're lying to people and you're constantly feeding the whole world a bunch of BS. Intentional dishonesty is number 27 in the 30 Causes of Failure by Napoleon Hill. Egotism and vanity. If you're egotistic, your head is always up your butt, you feel like yo don't stink, this can be a cause of failure. You have to understand that life is about bumping your head, learning something, and trying it again. Like that's all it is. That's any type of failure, any type of setbacks, you learn from it and you go back at it. You come harder than you went before. So if you're vain and you're egotistic, you're not even able to learn from the lessons that you should learn from. You're not able to learn from the people that you should learn from because your attitude is already, I am me. When something doesn't go wrong, when something doesn't go right, you blame everybody else for whatever went wrong. That's what ego and vanity does to you. You blame everybody else and you're not able to correct the things that you need to correct. Number 29, guessing instead of thinking. Life has given you all kinds of previous experiences to think from. You should not be out here guessing at 30, 35, and 40. You should not be guessing what your next move is. You should be planning. You should be thinking. You should be going over how life has treated you so far, what you don't like about it, what actually worked, and then you make a plan and you move from there. If you are just guessing, well, this could be this, well, this might work, or this, yeah, that look good, whatever. Listen, man, an educated guess is better than going off the top of the head about anything. Write some things down, see what makes sense. See what makes sense for you. The final one, number 30. Listen, y'all, it's only 30 of these. Napoleon Hill has 30 causes of failure. This is based on his book, Think and Grow Rich. Number 30 is the lack of capital. The reason that I went through this entire list today is because a lot of people think that the lack of capital is number one. Number 30 is the lack of capital. Number 30. Think of how many other things could have went wrong that contributed to your failure before you got to the lack of capital. Once again, Napoleon Hill is one of the self-help's forefathers. His book, Think and Grow Rich, is still in the top 10 best-selling self-help books right now. Like every year, it has been top 10. And his 30 causes of failure ends with the lack of capital. It's a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs out there who feel like the reason that they're failing is the lack of capital. Me and Napoleon Hill, no relation, are here to tell you it's 29 other reasons why you might be failing. It's 29 other reasons. I'm not going to stay here all night, but I want y'all to think about this. Napoleon Hill, one of self-help's founding forefathers, whose book, Think and Grow Rich, remains in the top 10 best-selling self-help books, has a list of 30 different causes of failure and the lack of capital is number 30. It's not number 1 through 10 or 10 through 20. It's number 30. You have 29 other reasons why you might be failing. And that's 29 other things that you can deal with. And those particular things may actually help you raise more capital for your business. Stop blaming everything on a lack of capital. I don't know a better way to end that. If it's any questions or if you have a comment, you can leave them in the comment section and I will respond. But think about it. The lack of capital is number 30. There are 29 other reasons why you may be failing in your personal life or why you may be failing in your business. Go through these things and see if it's anything that you can work on, because those things may help you raise more capital for your business. And we out.